So you want to increase your investments and you want to increase your net worth, but you don't know exactly how to do that. In today's video, we're going to talk about strategic ways on which you can increase your net worth and net income through some tried and tested techniques such as compound interest, investing, and other related investment strategies. First is, why should you invest? Well, investing in assets, typical assets like mutual funds, index funds, or ETFs, have returned on average 5 to 10% greater per year. Now think about that. If your money is just sitting in a regular bank account and earning no interest, versus if you put it into a mutual fund or high earning ETF where you're earning at least 10%, you're going to get 10% return on your income, which is really good for basically not doing anything. Now, in this first example, we're going to go over a compound interest example, and this particular example is using a beginning investment of $50,000, and it assumes that you're going to invest $50,000 per year over the course of 10 years. Now, if you take a look at this example, the initial investment of $50,000 invested, assuming an annual return of 10%, which is traditionally, as I had mentioned, what most mutual funds, index funds, or ETFs will return. And by the end of year 10, you would have nearly $1 million. And that you're going to invest that annually, that same amount, $50,000. Now, the power of compound interest really takes effect as the amount you have is larger. So in the second video that I'm explaining here is the principle that you initially started with, $50,000, has now ballooned to, over the 10-year period, of $1 million. And that within a 6-year period, by year 16, that principal amount has inflated a lot. And over 6 years, that initial investment would have increased to $2 million. Incredible, right? And at the end of a 20-year period, you would have over $3 million. Wow. Now, can you imagine that? Can you imagine what you could do with that? Of course, you're frugally minded and a smart investor, so you're not going to blow that, but that type of money you can live off free. Say you lose your job, you become incapacitated, you're no longer able to make a living or sustain yourself or your family, you'll have this money to take care of them. Now, isn't that great? So as I was mentioning, compound interest works. It works at any income level, but it particularly works when you have a larger amount of money. So case two, or the second point I'd like to make, is how do you make that money, right? We all have monthly expenses we need to take care of. Now it's food, utilities, if we're paying for a house, a mortgage payment, any other types of incidentals, and that doesn't leave a lot left to invest with. Now, two strategies you can take is, one is to get a higher paying job or get a secondary job. You can do a simple Google search and see which types of industries or what type of jobs are paying a lot of money and will in the future, and concentrate and gain skills in those areas. As a general point, you should always be upskilling, whether reading or gaining new knowledge, credentials as a general rule. But as pertains to earning more income, you should look at the hot areas that are going to expand and then concentrate on those. And second is get a side hustle. Gen Zers, Gen Alphas, Millennials, the internet is kind of like the second gold rush, right? Anyone with skills in marketing, social media, some things they can offer to the world can easily make additional income sources that they can use to invest or they can use to pay for other expenses, right? So that is a good way. Now, what I recommend doing is to, if you're going to go the side hustle route, see which areas are growing and see where you could kind of put yourself into the mix. Everyone has a core skill set or something that they can offer to the world. By doing self-study or seeing how you can leverage that into a social media presence or side hustle is an easy way to make money and additional sources of income. So don't forget that. And finally, aside from investing in the market, which is going to give you excellent returns, is consider buying a home. Now, a house is a huge investment, so it is a lot of money. But with the power of leverage, getting a mortgage and you borrowing money from the bank to purchase a house, you only need a minimal amount of money to do that. Let's say that you are considering buying a $400,000 house. Typically, that would require that you put down $40,000 as a down payment, and then the rest you could pay off through a mortgage or a home loan that you're taking out to pay for the home, right? So if you look at the course, or if you look at the history of real estate as an asset and home prices in general, in 5 to 10 year periods, those types of investments in houses have returned significant returns for their investors or the people who invest in real estate. Single family homes, multi-family homes, any of these types of related investments have returned 25% in 5 years. And in 10 years, it has returned 75% or greater. Just take a look at the median prices of home in the US and you get an idea. Well, I hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to click and subscribe to get updated on future content in finance, personal investing, business, everything to raise and increase your financial IQ. Thanks so much for joining today's video, and until next time, take care.